So I'm often asked, what is engineering? And it seems like such a simple question, but the definition of what it means to be an engineer continues to evolve. At its core, engineering is the process of using science and math to solve problems. And the discipline and profession is perfect for people who look at a challenge and ask the questions, why or how can I make it better? So as a reminder to those of you maybe just joining us, my name is Erin and I am the Student Recruitment Officer for UBC Engineering. And I do want to again acknowledge that the land that UBC has built its Okanagan Campus on is on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan peoples, and that the Vancouver campus is on the traditional, unceded territory of the Musqueam people. So thanks again for joining. So UBC Engineering offers a caring community that emphasizes inclusivity and respect for all. That's often very evident in the resources and supports that our students receive, whether in the classroom, lab, or elsewhere on campus. What you'll discover is that our community campuses and our engineering programs are just the start of what can truly be a unique post-secondary experience for you. So UBC Engineering is ranked as the top engineering program in Canada. The new rankings came out last week and we are now ranked #1. And we actually have one program across 2 campuses. So the Okanagan campus is in Kelowna and the Vancouver campus is on the western side of Vancouver. So regardless of which campus you attend, you'll start in the foundational first year to learn about courses that are the foundation of your degree. This means your chemistry, your physics, your math, and your English. At the Okanagan campus, you'll choose the program you're most interested in to continue into for your second year. And there are no caps at the Okanagan campus. So there are 4 different programs to choose from after completing that foundational first year. At the Vancouver campus, students will go through what's called the second year placement process, which is a competitive process to place you into the programs that you rank on your form. Again, this is after the foundational first year. There are 14 different programs to choose from at the Vancouver campus. You'll get to explore all of those programs throughout your first year, but you can also explore them today in the event. So we do highly recommend that you begin at the campus that you plan to finish at. So completing your full degree at either the Vancouver campus or the Okanagan campus, whichever one is your preference. So again, one more time, to explore all of the programs. We don't have time to go into every single program today because that would take us quite a while, but each of our programs in the expo, which you can get to in the left-hand navigation, has pre-recorded presentations for you to watch over the course of the next day or so. And then tomorrow, October 14th, from 5:15 to 6:15, they will be live on screen in their booth to answer any of your questions. So even though you'll go into one of these programs after completing your foundational first year, practicing engineers are no longer strictly bound to their discipline or their fields. A civil engineer often works across disciplines, including materials, manufacturing, mechanical, and electrical, while collaborating with other engineers with different backgrounds and expertise. You'll have seen that in our research spotlights earlier today, that many of those are very interdisciplinary. And that variety is one of the most exciting parts of being an engineer. Ultimately, all engineers want to be change makers. They want to make the world a better place for our families, our communities, our countries, and for humanity. Engineers don't just have to build things. They can improve things, develop ideas, analyze ideas, and use their imagination and creativity to develop new and more efficient ways of addressing life's challenges. And in the end, that allows them to make a difference. So I hope that through the open house, you'll uncover something that inspires you. And one way that our students find their passion is by joining a design team where they can design and create projects outside of the classroom. Third quadrant design is one example of that. So in the last year, they won first place at the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Decathlon, beating entries from Harvard University and the University of California, Berkeley. The Solar Decathlon is an international collegiate competition that challenges teams to design and build sustainable, efficient, and innovative buildings powered by renewable energy. So the team's plan is to continue to push those boundaries of transdisciplinary design and innovative low-carbon project delivery. And one of the things that they're now going forward with is that they're working to build a 247 square meter net zero building, officially known as the Third Space Commons, right on the Vancouver campus. This is a new building that a group of students are actually going to build on our campus, and it will serve as a collaborative working space and living laboratory for students, industry partners, and researchers to investigate zero-emission, regenerative, and climate-resilient design. So that's super exciting coming up. Other teams innovating the future include UBC Rocket, who's working to create a microbial fuel cell, which is basically a battery that uses bacteria to generate electricity. Or UBC Aerodesign, that recently competed in a competition using Sitka spruce, a BC wood product, in their fixed-wing electrical-powered remote-controlled aircraft. In fact, there are over 30 design teams at the Vancouver campus that allow students to gain hands-on experience outside of the classroom. And at the Okanagan campus, there are many student teams and clubs that allow you to gain hands-on experience outside of the classroom, as well as so many opportunities to expand your network. It doesn't matter what engineering program you're in or which campus you decide to attend, there are definitely teams for you. In addition to all of the opportunities available to you as a student, engineering really sets you up for success in your career. So engineering provides a solid education in problem solving, analysis, and application of knowledge. No matter what you want to do in the future, you have a great foundation to continue in engineering or whatever else it is that you're interested in. Lifelong learning is one of the graduate attributes that all engineering students gain, and engineers are improving the world around us, and to do so, they need to keep contributing to our knowledge and applying that knowledge to solve new problems. With a solid foundation, engineering can also open up doors to graduate studies, law school, medicine, and so much more. Our students, alumni, and professors are continuing to showcase the impact they can make on the world through their research and actions, like providing solutions of clean drinking water to Indigenous populations in Canada that have been under boil water advisories for entire generations, reducing food insecurity, making an impact on pollution and air quality, preventing and treating concussions, creating new medical devices, and so much more. Engineering is also a very well-paying job, and a recent study by Statistics Canada published in 2020 shows that most top-earning graduates come from engineering disciplines when comparing bachelor degrees in Canada. So when adjusted for age, institution, and graduation year, the median earnings for engineering degrees in the top 30 were between about $70,000 and $120,000 per year for both men and women. UBC Engineering is working to also reach gender parity in engineering. The only way that we do so is through our recruitment and outreach efforts to expose more girls and young women to the field of engineering through Gearing Up, our Engineering Stories YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok channel. Many of our Engineering Stories team is also in the event this weekend. And through recruitment events to get more women to apply. Why do we do this? Well, increasing underrepresented populations in engineering makes our teams more diverse, and more diverse teams mean our students are better able to solve problems for the entire population, not just a fraction of it. There are so many opportunities awaiting you at UBC to help you figure out your interests and equip yourself with the skills that you need to excel in your future career. We've had many alumni use engineering as the foundation for their careers, like Bowen Ma, who's the MLA for North Vancouver Lonsdale, Sarah, who has gone on to work as one of the main project managers for the new FC Barcelona stadium. But there's also lots of alumni who have gone on to work at some of the biggest companies like Tesla, Google, Apple, and so many more. From the very start, you'll be exposed to hands-on design projects where you work in teams with other first-year students, and you'll continue to have courses year after year that continue to build on those project-based team learning experiences, culminating in your final year with your capstone design project, where you and your peers work with industry partners to solve real-life problems. Some capstone projects have actually become startups or have allowed students to secure jobs upon graduation. Students interested in research also have the opportunity to gain paid research experience, or you can participate in clubs like the Undergraduate Research Organization, URO for short, who helps pair students with areas of research that they're interested in. Later on in your degree, you can also customize your studies by choosing to pursue a minor, which is a secondary area of study. This is not a requirement, but it will allow you to have a secondary area of focus. You'll also have the opportunity to gain paid work experience through our co-op program, which you can apply into at the beginning of second or third year. It helps students gain work experience while getting paid really well and will give you a competitive advantage when you graduate. Stick around because on Saturday we will have a presentation all about co-op for you to learn more about that. You might also want to consider going abroad to work, research, or study in your third year, which is another opportunity for students to take advantage of. While school is a great way to explore your interests, we also want to appreciate the power of community. By learning about the experiences of your peers, instructors, and UBC staff, you may be able to learn about an interest or career path that you never even knew about. We've already mentioned our design teams, but there are also lots of clubs to get involved with. Whether you want to join something related to engineering or something completely different, there are hundreds and hundreds of options at UBC. We also have the Engineering Undergraduate Society in Vancouver and Okanagan, and more specific programs for members of the 2S LGBTQIA+ community, women, Black Canadians, Indigenous, and Chinese students as well. So why engineering? Well, if you want to make a positive impact on our world, either by responding to a global crisis, impacting climate change, and make our world more sustainable, or by designing technology to help people, engineering is the degree that will let you do that and so much more. So coming up next, we have a presentation to talk even more about some of those ways that you can really maximize your university experience. And then after that, we'll have the Women in Engineering panel, as well as an advising Q&A session starting. So stick around for the rest of the event today. You can also find some great additional resources on the screen to check out. The yu.ubc.ca gives you more information about applying to UBC in general. Engineering.ubc.ca is our website for everything related to engineering at the Vancouver campus. And engineering.ok.ubc.ca is everything related to the Okanagan campus. We also have our YouTube channel on there, youtube.com/engineering stories, to learn more about what the student experience is like at UBC. And the team has just restarted up this year, so they're also now posting to TikTok and Instagram, so be sure to check us out on there. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to jump into the Q&A. We have about 10 minutes left or so, so I'm going to answer a few questions for you. So just give me 1 second to do that. So one question I see is, will the first year academic performance determine which branch of engineering that you can study? That's a great question. And so as I mentioned, at the Okanagan campus, it is not competitive of which of those 4 programs that you can go into. So at the Okanagan campus, if you're there, you just simply get a pick from those 4 programs going into your second year. At the Vancouver campus, that's our competitive program called our second year placement program, or second year placement process, and that is competitive. So that will be determined based on your first year, how your first year goes. There's a few other pieces that kind of go into that as well. And throughout your first year at the Vancouver campus, you'll be guided through kind of how that process works, what to expect, and everything to do with that. But yes, it will be based on your kind of first year results. As long as you finish that first year successfully, everyone will be placed into a program. So that's not something to worry about. We're not trying to weed out students or anything like that you may have heard. But your placement into your program will depend on your first year. We do also encourage you to explore other programs as well. So you've seen already today that there's so much interdisciplinary things that happen within engineering. So there are multiple engineering programs that could all lead to the same kind of career path or the same field of work as well. So definitely kind of checking those out. A lot of our students get into one of their top choices. And I think I just answered the second question as well. So talking a little bit more about dual degrees. So we do have a dual degree option at the Vancouver campus where you can do a dual degree in arts and engineering. That is an option for you. You could still start in engineering and then decide if that's what you'll want to do, because you'll apply into the dual degree after you've started your studies. So not something that you need to decide just yet, but it's something that's open to you. If you're interested in that, we also have the minor in arts too. So you can also minor in arts to just take some arts courses. So an area of study related to humanities or faculty of arts you may be interested in also allows you to kind of take those sort of courses throughout your degree. Doing a dual degree or a minor will likely extend your degree past 4 years, but it's definitely an option if you want to explore those additional areas of study. What is the difference between a B.Eng degree and a BASC degree? That's a great question. So in Canada, there are lots of different naming schemes. You may see some institutions that have a Bachelor of Science in Engineering. There may be some institutions that have a Bachelor of Engineering. At UBC, we have the Bachelor of Applied Science, which is our engineering degree. They're all the same. They're all accredited. UBC Engineering is accredited, so you'll be able to work as an engineer throughout Canada, but there's also the opportunity to work internationally as well. And UBC is an internationally recognized institution, which means that you can take that degree and it will still be recognized no matter where you go. There may be some additional requirements to work as a professional engineer in another country, but any of those degrees basically are just a naming scheme for an engineering degree, so it doesn't matter what that is. All right, so I'll mark as answered. So there's another question of, can I complete my first year of engineering at UBCO and then transfer to UBC Vancouver for the last 3 years? That's not necessarily a pathway that we recommend. So we do recommend starting at whichever campus that you plan to finish at. So if you're planning to start at the UBC Okanagan, then it should be that you're planning to finish there, or otherwise you're planning to start at the UBC Vancouver campus. One piece that we will mention quickly in our admissions presentation tomorrow, and we also have a transfer student session on Saturday. So we do have some transfer opportunities. We have the engineering transfer program, which you can start at one of our engineering transfer partner institutions and do your entire first year there before coming into your second year at the Okanagan or the Vancouver campus. So if that's something that you're thinking about, I definitely recommend checking out our admissions presentation for a little snippet of that, or checking out the transfer student session on Saturday. So great question. Do engineering students get to choose which company to work at for co-op? So you're not just going to be automatically assigned. You have to go off to this place, but you will apply to jobs just like you would apply to any other sort of job. With co-op, you get a lot of supports in that. And for the best resources for that, we actually have a co-op presentation happening on Saturday. So I won't go too much into that right now. But if you come back on Saturday to learn all there is to know about co-op, that will be your best place to learn all of those answers. But no, you're not just automatically assigned a position in co-op. You do need to go through an application process, go to interviews and things like that. Just checking. We have time for a couple more questions. One question, what is the difference in courses and programs at UBC Vancouver and UBC Okanagan? So that's what I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, that obviously there are different locations. The Okanagan campus is in Kelowna and the Vancouver campus is in Vancouver. The other main difference is simply the size of campus as well as the number of programs offered. The Okanagan campus has 4 programs and the Vancouver campus has 14 programs. Other than that, we really encourage you to check out the programs, what's available in them. Check out the campuses themselves if you're able to. We do have some on-campus open house events coming up. So in Vancouver on November 5th and in the Okanagan on November 19th. That will allow you to explore campus to see where it is that you want to spend the next 4 years of your life. So really would encourage you to do that. But the main basics are just the programs offered and the size and location of campus. Thank you so much for joining this presentation about why engineering and all of the amazing reasons that you may want to consider engineering as a degree or as a career for you.